What's going on to all my Mad Maniacs out there? Welcome back to Mad About Disney. Today we are back on the Mad Chatter, but you might notice that the background looks a little bit different. That's because this is the, I guess you could say, first episode of the 83%. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be confused. But today, as guests, we have Corvyn and Bleaker. We have two guests today. So do either of you want to explain where the name the 83% came from?
So it was Charity Land, and for an hour, Kevin was like, for every $5 donated, it equals one Motzi. And so within that hour, there was so many donations that it totaled, 30 Motzis, I think it was?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, and then we did the math, and of those 30 Motzis, 83% of them were donated between the three of us.
Yeah, so ever since then, it's been kind of a running joke that we forced Kevin to nearly throw up on YouTube with thousands of viewers due to the fact that we had him eat, 30 Motzis. So, ever since... I
donated 20 Motzis alone.
You did.
So ever since then, it's kind of been a running joke between us three about the 83% or 30 Motzis or whatever.
You know what we should have done?
What?
Since I was keeping track of all the donations that came in, I should have put all of them with the description of 4 Motzis. So when we copied it over, we got a lot of donations that particular hour.
Yeah, we did. We got a lot. A lot of people wanted to see Kevin really sick.
A lot of people just wanted to see Kevin.
Yeah, a lot of people do. But, yeah, so we joked around about having a podcast, so I threw out the idea of occasionally having an episode of this podcast being an 83% episode where I bring these two guys on. So we're going to go through and we're going to do some of the normal podcast stuff where I ask them questions about things going on as far as Disney news. And then we're going to go, we're doing a news segment where we asked everyone on the Theme Park Tube Discord if they had any questions for Bleaker or Corvyn, and then we're going to ask them those, and they're going to answer them. So if you guys want to be involved in future episodes like this, be sure to join Theme Park Tube's Discord. I mean, that's where we all met, the three of us. Well, I don't know about you two. You guys met on the Funland server, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I met them on Theme Park 2 server, and it's a really fun place over there. A lot of random Disney and other theme park talks. We talk about all random stuff there. But let's just get right into it, because I don't want to make this podcast too long, because we do have quite a bit of questions to do at the end. So the first thing I want to talk about is, have either of you guys seen Avengers Endgame yet? And I'm not going to get into spoilers, so don't click away. Don't.
I saw it last night.
Bleaker?
I see it in a few hours.
Alright. So, I don't want to go into my opinions on the film quite yet, because I already recorded and started editing a whole video on that. So if you guys want to look out for that video. But I just want to talk about, so far it's made, I think, like $700 million worldwide. Do you guys think that is lower than what you expected, or is that about what you expected so far?
In 2 days, $700 million. 2 days, I think. Has it been 2 or 3?
It's been
3.
Yeah.
Because it opened Wednesday overseas.
Oh, my apologies. In 4 days at this point? In 4 days, $700 million. That's about what I expected.
Yeah, it's a little higher than what I expected, but I mean, at the same time, it's Endgame, right? It's the biggest film I can remember recently, so it doesn't overly surprise me.
Alright, and you guys are all going to hear...
Galactus battle in another 10 years. Because they're going to build up to that next.
I would assume so, now that the Disney Fox deal went through. So you guys are going to hear my opinions on that in another video. But Corvyn, real quick, spoiler free, what were your thoughts on the movie?
I thought it was very good. There were a couple characters that I felt weaker in this film than Infinity War, but overall, it was a pretty good film.
Alright. So, so I thought it was good, and I'm excited to see what you guys think of the movie as well. I don't want to talk too much more about it because I don't want to spoil anything for Bleaker for anyone watching. So
I will ban you.
That's generally your
threat.
Your threat.
I have no power here.
Yeah, that's right.
You remember that.
All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is they released the first trailer for Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker, which is the official title. I'm assuming that both of you guys saw the trailer.
The memes, the memes were so good.
Yeah, I mean that's generally what most people look out for when any new trailer or anything drops. It's just the immediate rush of memes. I'm surprised that have you gotten anything spoiled for Endgame thanks to any memes that you've seen anywhere? Bleaker?
Surprisingly not. I don't even know what the internet is at this point.
Yeah, well,
I have to be very, very careful.
unfortunately for me, some kid at my school told me some major detail the day I was seeing it, but that's fine. It's fine. I wasn't upset at all. It's not like I was trying to stay off social media for a week to avoid spoilers, and then an hour before I saw it, someone told me what happened, but, you know. Yeah, so this movie is obviously the last of this trilogy, and it's the finale of the Skywalker saga, which is all of the episodic movies so far. So, did this trailer get you guys more excited, or were you already, like, pretty excited for this movie?
After the train wreck that was the last one, I wasn't very excited. I didn't even think I was going to go and see it, but I guess bringing back Palpatine is an interesting choice.
Yeah, I mean, the debate with this whole series has been how much to rely on characters from prior movies, right? They've obviously made some harsh decisions on that by killing off Han Solo in The Force Awakens and then Luke in The Last Jedi. So I thought they were more going the route of, you know, letting go of the past, as Kylo Ren would say. But clearly there's still a little bit of want for that, because if they're bringing back a character that no one ever considered bringing back, you know, they're clearly still holding on to that a little bit. I'm guessing that maybe that could have had something to do with the fact that people were very upset with The Last Jedi, so J.J. Abrams was like, well, we need to play on as much nostalgia as possible for this last one. They brought back Lando as well. So, I mean, I'm thinking that there's a chance that this movie, more than the previous two, is going to play on the entire saga rather than just this series, kind of like as a finale, not to just this trilogy, but to the entire storyline. What do you guys think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I was very surprised to see Lando in the trailer, so I was like, all right, consider me sold.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited, and I'll see it in theaters, and I hope that they do a good job. Like, I really do, because, you know, growing up, it was Marvel and Star Wars for me, and, you know, I want this end to this series to be one that people are left with a better taste in their mouth than, you know, The Last Jedi, because that movie, obviously, some people thought it was really good, other people didn't. I didn't mind it, but I probably would put it towards the bottom of my list of Star Wars films, because there were certain scenes that I watched in the theater, and I was just like, why did they do this? Like, the Leia scene where she flies through space like Superman. I don't know.
For me, that scene was the whole movie.
So many questionable things, but
I'm sitting there in the theaters, but why though? But why? No you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that movie. I go back and forth on it. It certainly wasn't one of my favorite, though. And I think part of the reason I found it more disappointing is because I actually enjoyed The Force Awakens. So I, thought that it was going to be a good trilogy.
Oh, you mean A New Hope V2?
That's true.
Yep.
Well, you know, as much as that is true,
I still liked it.
I enjoyed it more than The Last Jedi, even though it was a carbon copy of The New Hope, pretty much. I mean, I enjoyed A New Hope, so therefore I enjoyed The Last Jedi, I guess. I personally, I didn't realize it was that much of a carbon copy until the second or third time I watched it, so maybe I'm just oblivious, but I somewhat enjoyed the movie for when I watched it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. Are you guys both excited for it?
Yeah, I'll see it within the first week or so of it being out.
I'm a little more excited now that not necessarily that Palpatine's in it, but the trailer was definitely very well done.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job. But yeah, so I'm excited for that. So now we're gonna move over to some of the questions, and I know that it's been short to this point, but I have no idea how long that this is going to take. So we're just gonna hop on right over to those questions. I guess we'll do this. And I'm gonna pull up the questions here. So our first question comes from Cody4897, and his question is, what is the worst theme park that both of you have ever been to? Not together, separately. Or together.
My God.
I don't know how often you two travel together.
Not enough.
Every other weekend, and we get full custody on the third Wednesday of every other year.
Do you have a lake house somewhere?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Oh, God.
That's nice.
You
know what'd be so much fun? Well, it wouldn't actually, but like, you know those reality TV shows where they put like a bunch of strangers in like a house together? We should do that, but like a bunch of people from Theme Parks Tube's Discord. Just a bunch of random people, just throw them in a house together and just
that sounds
see
terrible.
what happens.
Sounds awful.
I wouldn't do it myself, but I'd like to watch it. I'd be interested to see.
You just put Bleaker in there and threaten, and you get him to threaten to ban everyone.
Ban from life. Life ban.
They yeet you out of life. Did I use that term correctly?
Yeah, there you go.
Gosh.
Yes! I'm learning.
Alright, so what is the worst theme park that you two have been to? Corvyn, do you want to start?
Well, yeah, sure, I can do that because it's really easy. There's a local park near me that's like, it's one roller coaster through the entire park that does a single corkscrew, and it's a whole big deal. And then the rest of it's just like these flat carnival rides, and they charge like $60 to get in for a day. It's terrible. Like, I don't know how they're still in business. This is a terrible system.
Well, maybe we should put it out of business, and then we'll get Kevin to do a Defunct Land episode on it.
There we go. It's a good history. They were Flintstones, and then they ran out of money before the park opened, so almost went bankrupt. But all the Flintstones theming is still there.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a terrible park otherwise.
Bleaker, what about you?
I'm gonna get so much hate. Universal Studios.
Orlando or Hollywood?
Orlando.
Damn.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate?
Oh, yes. So I went there when I was super, super young, not knowing what to expect. And then every single ride scared the ever-living... Am I allowed to swear on here?
I'll bleep it out.
Oh. Just scared the ever-living, crap. Every single one. I hated it. At that point, I was still used to Disney, so...
Did you ever go back?
My first and only experience with Universal Studios was not a pleasant one.
Let's see.
You should go back.
I've never been to any Universal park, so I don't know who will get more hate, you for not liking it as a kid or me for never going.
Disney till I die.
Yeah, I mean, they don't call me mad about Disney for nothing, no, but like, every time we go down...
I called you Doris.
Every time we go down to Florida, we always have the same debate. We're always like, do we take a side trip like one day to Universal? Even one trip, we were there, and we were sitting in the pool at our hotel the day before, and we hadn't bought tickets to Universal yet or to like a Disney theme park. We had like an open day, and we were like, because the whole time leading up, we had planned to go to Universal. And then we were like, we don't want to leave, and we ended up just staying and going back to, Disney World the next day, because we never were willing to take away from time at Disney to go to Universal. So, yeah.
Yep, that's the problem.
I don't know if I'll ever go. I mean, I will I'm sure at some point during my life, I hope, get to Universal, but it might be a long time before I do, because every time you go down to Florida, Disney has 10 new things for you to try, so it's like, why would you go anywhere else when you could just ride the new Flight of Passage ride after waiting 5 hours? So
it's not worth the 5-hour wait. It's good, but I wouldn't wait over half an hour for that.
I actually...
half an hour? Wow.
But to be fair, I won't wait over half an hour for any ride.
Longest I've ever waited for anything, ever, was I waited an hour and a half for Crush's Coaster at Disneyland Paris. Because I was there for one day, and I was like, there's only so many rides, and we tried to get a Fast Pass, but it was broken down, and when we came back, the Fast Passes were sold out. So we just waited for that. But I generally don't wait for anything at a United States park unless it's under an hour. That's my bar.
I don't usually wait over an hour, except for Ratatouille in Disneyland Paris, because I was there opening week, so it was a little over 2 hours.
Oh wow!
So I waited for that. But
I'm
otherwise,
excited for them to open that in the France Pavilion.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
At least there'll be something else in.
It'll balance out the World Showcase a little bit.
A little bit.
Because it won't just be the Three Caballeros and Frozen and then nothing else all the way around.
Hey,
and then
you're being too generous here. It won't be Frozen on one end of the park.
Poor American Adventure.
Yeah.
Have you seen that show?
I've never done it.
I love that show.
I've never
pretty
done
awesome.
it. I know. Every time I walk past and I'm like, oh, I should really do that. And then I smell food somewhere and I just wander off to the next food booth and get more brisket or some Italian something or other. So, yeah, I mean...
it's the Japan Pavilion that takes all my food money.
Fair.
I'm a sucker for noodles and sushi.
Yeah, I tried the frushi the last time I was there because it was during Flower and Garden. And it was actually not as bad as I expected it to be. Like, everyone raved about it, but I thought it was just one of those foods that, like, bloggers take pictures of just to, like, because it looks cool. But it actually was...
It is one of those foods that bloggers take pictures of because it looks cool, but that's not the only reason they get it.
Yeah, it's actually, like, it was refreshing.
Mind you, it's the primary reason.
Yeah, because I also got, like, they had, like, a spicy chicken something, so it was good because it kind of, like, complemented that because, you know, it was refreshing. But yeah, I love the World Showcase, and whenever I go, you know, all my friends are like, why do you spend so much time there? Like, there's only, like, 2 rides. And I'm like, well, it's not just about the rides.
You should see the money I just spent.
A bowl of 2 pieces of steak for $8? Sure! Let's do
Nowhere
that.
else in the world will you do that. I spent over $100 at Rainforest Cafe like it was nothing.
Oh my gosh! Of all places,
I told my buddy the last time we went down there in February, March, I told him, "Hey, here you eat with your heart, not your wallet. The second you start eating with your wallet, you're gonna have a terrible time. Just order."
I mean, that's a good point. And unfortunately, in Disney, if you worry about money, you're ultimately just going to stress out over whether you can buy that bottle of water for $5 or you should just die of thirst.
Of thirst.
So,
honestly, if you go to Disney worrying about money, you didn't even buy a ticket or a hotel. You're still at home.
Yeah, so... I don't know. And the food is so good, too, that it's like, alright, I'll have like 5 things today, and then we'll call it a day here at Epcot. Then you go to the Canada booth, and you see steak and scallops and poutine, and you're like, I'll have 5, thank you.
Shut up and take my money.
Croissant donut? Croissant donut? Yes, please. Give me 7 of them.
Those are like my 2 favorite adjectives for food. Actually, no, those are nouns. Those are like my 2 favorite nouns rolled into one.
Oh, orange slushy? Oh, pay an extra $10 for an orange bird sipper. I'll take 7. Oh, gosh.
Oh, Dole Whip, I'll take your entire stock.
Let me give you my money. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Epcot.
Sir, here's my wallet, here's my bank account, here's my credit card.
Would you like my room key? You can have my next 2 nights at the hotel. Just give me the Dole Whip. I just want the Dole Whip.
So every time what the hell was that? That was... Jesus Christ, never do that again. Last time we went there, we always stayed at the Value. My family always stays at the Value Resorts. 1, because we can afford it. 2, we never spend any time there at the hotel. But I found out that if you stay at one of the fancy places, the places that people who stay there are better than you and they know it.
Oh, so where I stay.
I almost threw something at my screen. I found out they treat you like gold there. The pools have sand bottom, so it's relaxing on your feet. If it rains, the staff are out there with towels.
Yep.
The food's way better.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be fancy.
Yeah, we'll go to Grand Floridian next time.
Oof. Actually,
road trip.
Actually, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
I recommend.
Not the last time I was there, but the time before, we ended up at, I think it was the Beach Club, because no, we weren't staying there. We weren't staying there.
Oh.
We were at Epcot and we walked over to the Beach Club and it started pouring and my family was getting on a bus to go back to the hotel and I was like, I'm gonna stay around and I'll just walk around the property because we were going back to Epcot that evening, so I figured I'd just walk around there and see what it was like and then ultimately walk back over to Epcot.
I have a story about Epcot in the rain when you finish up.
All right.
Don't let me forget.
So I walk into the hotel, and there's four cast members on the right offering me warm towels, and I was like, I mean, I guess I'm not even staying here, but and they're like, oh, that's fine, just take one. So I was like, okay. So I got 2 steps into the building before they already were offering me amenities. Here, take these. What was your story about Epcot rain? Oh,
So
time
me and
out.
my buddy-
Sorry, real quick. Whenever it rains
I'm
in
sorry,
Epcot,
did you what? Did you what?
I was
Did you
interrupting
what?
you. Whenever
I will
it rains
kill
in
you.
Epcot, I end up in the Mexico Pavilion. I just needed to say that. For some reason, I'm always at Mexico when it rains. Don't ask me
Yep.
why. All right, Bleaker, go ahead.
So last time me and my buddy went there, it started downpouring, but at that point we had already reached a stage of heck it. So we watched the Illuminations. I don't know why I cannot remember the name. It's the same show for the last 20 years. So me and my buddy, we find a tree and watched Illuminations in the pouring rain.
Nice.
And it was
Surprised they
actually
were
really-
running the show.
Yeah.
Right. It was actually really, really cool watching it in the rain because the fireworks would explode and it's kind of it's hard to describe. The fireworks just look kind of blurry. It's almost surreal watching Illuminations in the rain.
That's interesting.
And then the show got delayed because pyrotechnics.
Yeah,
I feel bad for that poor guy going back and forth on the little boat
Right?
in the pouring rain.
My
Are they
close.
finally getting rid of Illuminations?
Yeah,
Is that
Yeah.
Was it
September 30th or something?
Yeah, something
about
like that.
time?
And then they're doing Epcot Forever for a few months before they replace it again with a
You
new
mean
show.
Illuminations tribute?
Apparently,
Yeah.
it's just Illuminations tribute plus other Epcot tribute things
And kites.
and kites.
Rip Journey into Imagination.
Yeah, they're gonna do some Journey to Imagination stuff, I'm sure. My coolest Illumination experiences, I just got lucky and I was riding Test Track during it, so when you came around the bend outside, the fireworks going off. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Wow.
And I didn't even do that on purpose. The line was just a lot longer than I thought, so I thought I would ride it and then walk over to watch it, but it was just really long. At that point, I wasn't getting out of line. So I just missed the fireworks other than that. But alright, so that was only one question, so we should keep moving.
Okay. Keep all answers to less than 5 words. Let's go.
At this point, it can be as long as people want because the people watching are people that want to hear the answers. So, the Cheese McWaffles asks, for Corvyn, why are you so angry all the time?
Why am I so angry all the time? Well, it started because Facebook released all those new reactions, and I was like, why did they add an angry emote, or an angry reaction? This makes no sense. But I love it. So ever since, I just angry reacted every single post I could.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I still do it if I can. A whole bunch of people have blocked me because of the angry reacts, but
But it's worth it.
it's worth it, 100%. Bleaker hates it when I angry react, so it makes it
Do you
even
realize how many fires I've had to put out because you keep angry reacting?
better.
The Facebook group hates it.
That's fine.
Do you realize how much I've had I actually have to do moderating work whenever you angry react. And I'm
It's
already
worth it.
stretched thin as it is.
You love it, don't worry.
No, I don't.
Well, it's worth it.
Alright, so we'll go to the next question. this is, I guess it's for Corvyn, but either we can answer it. This is from Doug. Will the Corv cult eventually take over the TPT server?
No.
Well, there it is. No matter how hard they try, Bleaker says no.
All right, there's your answer, Doug. You're welcome. All right, Midnight Meow asks, he wants you to be Corvyn. He wants you to be a Magic 8-Ball and predict whether he will win his hockey tournament.
Oh, he warned me about this question because he said it was a trap no matter how I answered. So I will say, you will win, and good luck regardless. But you've got this.
All right. And then he also had another question here for both of you. Rate Elmo dabbing out of 1 to 10. Rate it.
Go ahead, Bleaker.
-3.
Out of 10, I give it a solid 11.
He asked me to rate it too, and I you know the emoji that's like the little Easter Island head?
Yep.
I did that out of 10. So interpret that how you
What
want.
does that even mean? That's not a number. That's an emoji.
Yeah, exactly. It's up to it's up to interpretation. Disney Doof has a question for Corv.
Oh no, yeah.
He said you don't need to put it in the podcast, but if it's possible, record his reaction. So, here we are. Why do you hate Ethan?
Who's Ethan?
I don't know, it just says he will get it and he will get a laugh out of it. So, there you are. There's your laugh that you requested.
Ethan is a friend of mine who just kills me.
Wait.
Yeah.
Back up.
Yeah.
You have friends?
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There it is. You knew there was going to be an insult somewhere in there.
Nah, Ethan is my human punching bag. Yeah. So like how I am to you, he's my Ethan.
Finally, a worthy opponent.
Alright, and then the last questions are from our Supreme Leader, Future Dwight. He has one question that's a legitimate question, a second question that's a joke question, and a third question that is for Corvyn.
Okay.
Alright, so the real question is, how did you guys all first come in contact with Kevin and Theme Park Tube? So I'll start because mine's the easiest. I had a blog that I wrote articles on. Disney Dan asked if someone was in Florida to buy him a Pop Funko that was being released exclusively. So I volunteered, I did. He happened to stumble upon my blog, he read it, thought I was talented, whatever that means, and asked if I wanted to write videos for him. And after that, we kind of became good buddies. And then when they created the Theme Park Tube Discord, he brought me on as his, I guess, his contribution to the moderator team. Alright?
Nice. Alright, I'll go next because Bleaker's is very complicated. So I started with the Defunctland Discord, joined there, did a couple episodes with Kevin for research. There was Bleaker and another admin, Heath, who were the main admins to set up roles when people joined the Patreon. And sometimes they weren't always available, so I'd say welcome to the new member and got their donation ranks. That Bleaker and Heath just had to sign in, log in and give them the roles. And after a while, Bleaker was like, hey, do you want to join the admin team? And I was like, yeah, sure. I'm already doing the welcome parts anyways. It's easy for me to just give them the roles now. And so then when Theme Park Tube opened, it was a mess that first week. It was like people were doing anything and everything. So Bleaker was like, hey, I know you're an admin in Defunctland.
Dan set up the rules, and the original rules were like, don't do anything stupid and have fun. And
I was like, keep it PG or whatever.
I'm not going to say anything because this is below my level of rank or whatever, but I was like, but those are not good rules, and people basically can do whatever they want besides curse and still be following the rules because there really weren't any.
Yeah, so that first week or so was absolutely chaotic. So Bleaker was like, hey, we made you admin in Defunctland. Do you want to be an admin over here too? And I was like, yeah, sure, I can help out. And now I'm like an admin everywhere.
All right, Bleaker, tell.
If you have a crack knuckle sound effect, I would employ it right now.
All right, I'll edit that in.
All right, this is a very complicated, convoluted story.
Story time
how
with
far-
Bleaker.
How far back do I go? Do I go all the way back, or
In the beginning, you were born.
in the beginning I was conceived? So I had discovered I was going to a trip for Florida, no, to Disney World. So I was watching as many Disney YouTube things as I possibly could, and I stumbled onto Funkland, liked the content, and subscribed. Then sometime later, I discovered Patreon. And I was like, hey, I wonder if any of these guys are giving out good Patreon rewards. So I looked through like 3 or 4 different channels that I really liked, and the rewards kind of sucked. So then I stumbled across Defunctland, and I was like, hey, these Patreon rewards are pretty good, plus I like the content, so I threw $25 at Kevin and became the channel's first, what is that, season pass holder, or?
25 is the restorer.
Restorer.
Yeah, restorer.
Then after the first board meeting that they ever had, I was coming in as the highest ranking member. I had really liked what Kevin was saying during the board meeting, so I bumped up my donation to 50 and became the first board member. So I was first
You're the first board member. Wow.
You already knew that.
I know, but I figured it was Dio.
No, I was.
Wow.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No.
No, now you know. So
Yeah.
then, let's see here. Then our board meetings started getting more and more crowded as Kevin grew more and more popular. So then I was actually on my Disney vacation in the hotel room, and I'm like, hey, let's just make a Discord here and see if Kevin wants to do that. So I made a Defunctland Discord and linked it to Kevin. It's like, hey, we can do all of our board meetings here now because there's no channel limits that we would encounter in Google Chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So my only condition was that I retain ownership of the Defunctland server because I figured out how to get everything to work and I can most quickly change it.
Yep.
So then about a year later, I got talking with Disney Dan, a few other of the now current Theme Park 2 members, and Disney Dan actually reached out to me like, hey, you made the Defunctland server and that works pretty well. How about you make us a Theme Park 2 Discord? That's something that we're going to do now, is kind of join forces for a community. So then I ended up making the Theme Park 2 Discord as well, and now I'm kind of like the
Supreme
head
Overlord.
So anytime any of the guys do Discords at this point, I'm the one who kind of manages that. So at present, I manage Park Ride History, Yesterworld, Defunctland, obviously Theme Park 2, and then I'm also an admin on Offhand Disney, and I think that's it.
Here too.
And here, yes, and here as well. I think.
Mad About Disney Discord. Come join. It's a fun time. Link in description.
And I think that's.
Are you an
pretty much
admin on
it.
Disney Dance server?
Yes.
You missed
Are
that.
you?
Am I?
No,
No,
you're
I might
not.
not be. No, I'm not an admin
No.
on Disney Dan's server. I'm an admin on his Lego server.
Yeah, I'm an admin on his server, my server, his Lego server, Theme Park Tube, and Offhand Disney, and Matterhorn Matt.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, fun for
My
me.
list would be too long.
Yeah, so speaking of that, we're going to skip the joke question because this was the core question from Future
Oh.
White. Is there a single active Disney theme park related Discord that you aren't a mod of?
Let's go through my list. I'm not a mod in Matterhorn Mats.
Okay, step away from the mic, man.
Yeah, I was
Oh, am I too close?
just adjusting his volume.
Jesus
Alright.
Christ, man.
Yeah. It looks like just Matterhorn Mats. Oh, and Bright Sun Films. I'm in his, but I'm not a mod in that one. But yeah, just those two. Everything else, odds are I'm a mod.
Impressive.
Yeah, it never ends, it seems. It's like, hey, do you want to be a mod? And I'm like, okay.
Once you do one, they've got you in forever. I've learned that lesson. I think Dan actually offered me head of all the social media accounts for Theme Park 2.
Oof.
Yeah, I don't have the time though, so like love
Well,
the
then you'd have to
offer,
be funny.
True.
They rarely
I'd
use it.
have to be
Pretty sure the
personable.
Twitter's profile picture is still the theme park tube awards, even though that was like
Yeah,
a
it
month
is.
ago. So they don't use that as often as I feel like they should. But who am I to say? And
Getting
then
ready for they're just getting ready for next year's.
yeah,
Building the hype, if you will.
it's like
Yeah.
how I already saw like Halloween stuff in the stores. It's like
Are you
really
kidding me?
no,
Are you
Really?
serious?
yeah. I don't.
Oh, hey,
It's
it's
just-
almost July. Time for Christmas.
Oh no.
Christmas in July just becomes celebrate Christmas in February to get ready for Christmas in July so you can start celebrating for Christmas in December.
You love it.
I can't wait until like 50 years from now when Disney parks, it's like they have multiple holiday decorations overlapping. It's like the
Boxing Day.
holiday parade, and it's like half Halloween floats, half Christmas floats, and it just runs year round.
Right, you go
just the-
from Boot to you to the Christmas parade.
Just
it's
immediately.
It's like in Futurama, it's the parade, where they just get all the parades out of the way one day, and then there's no more.
Except every day. They have
I
a parade
hate parade.
every
I
day.
hate
I loved Spectro Magic, and I'm so sad it's gone.
True.
But that's a whole other thing we don't have time to get into.
Thank you.
And then the last, well, this is the joke question. So I guess we can all answer this one. Which mod would you pick to fight in a wrestling match? And which mod would you have as your tag team partner? And I guess we'll do theme park tube mods for this one, for the sake of this one. And I'll say we can throw in the ambassadors too, so that we have a larger
The ambassadors
pool.
are the mods. The
Right.
team is the admins.
Right? Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
talking about. I knew that. I totally knew that.
He was testing you.
Yes, it was a test. Congratulations, you've passed.
You passed.
Wait, are you testing me on the knowledge of my own Discord server?
Yeah, and you
Son.
failed.
Yeah,
Son,
but you.
I'm about to learn you something. Boy.
All right, Corvyn, you want to go
Okay.
first?
So it was who would I pick?
Who would you
to
fight?
and who would
And who would you fight with?
Okay, I would fight, probably, I'd fight, Zenmass. He's one of our mods. He's the events guy, but I don't know, I feel like I could take him. And then, to not steal Bleaker's answer for who I'd tag team with, because I know who he's gonna pick, I would tag team with Future Dwight. Yeah, I knew it! I would tag team with Future Dwight. Him and I would just go boom, right off the ropes. Take out everyone.
All right, Bleaker.
I will take all comers. Okay, God, now I have to go through the mod list because I have no clue who we have
Yeah,
anymore.
that's what I was
Oh my
just
gosh,
doing.
that should
You could fat Matterhorn Matt.
Sure, I'll fight Matterhorn Matt,
There you
and
go.
I'll take Heath with me. I don't think
Of
I would
course.
take Heath.
Round one, fight. As for me,
Yeah,
Corvyn, you're Canadian, right?
yeah, I am.
Oh, I love where this is going.
I'm gonna fight Corvyn because he's Canadian, and if you don't know why I would pick a Canadian, then you need to go on Reddit more often. I mean that in the nicest way possible, Corvyn.
Thank you.
Canadians can only do things in the nicest way possible.
You're speaking my language.
And then as far as who I would tag team with,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it'd have to be let's
He's got to scroll through the mod list.
that's currently what I'm doing. I'm looking through
Rip the
all
offline
of
list.
the mods, and I'm seeing a lot of names.
Seen a lot of names. Don't recognize any of them. Seen them.
We partnered with offhand, so there's a lot more names now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here who I'm sorry to all of you, but I don't know any of you. I'll pick.
Way to go.
I'll pick.
You got this, man.
I'll pick Brian. Just because he's been around the longest of a lot of these mods. So congratulations, Brian. Let's take on
he's your
Corvyn.
tag team?
Yeah.
Oh, Brian's going down.
Brian's going down. We're on the same team. He's going down.
Doesn't matter.
All right, and then
the three-part question.
and then he followed it up with Future Dwight followed his questions up with "Long live the 83%."
Very true.
So
Not ban him any longer.
that's it for the questions.
Oh, thank God.
Because I waited a decent bit to put it in the TPT loudspeaker asking for questions. But do you guys have any questions for me or for each other that you want to get off your chest on recording? Nothing? Alright.
I expected Bleaker to just, I don't know. I expected him to bully me more, so we're good.
Alright, so I guess we're going to wrap this up there. If you guys want to ask questions for future episodes, please join the Theme Park 2 Discord, or my own Discord. Both of the links will be in the description. You can get involved, and I can see right now there are people sending memes to each other, and Corvyn is answering them while we're recording. So if you guys want to get involved with that sort of stuff, links are in the description. As always, if you guys like this video, quite literally give it a like, and subscribe to the channel so you can see the next time we do this. But as for all, Bleaker, Corvyn, thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
We can do this again sometime in the nearer future than, like I'm hoping to make this an every couple months sort of thing. And if it's well received, we could even bump it up, assuming that we find the time to do it. Because
What is time?
time is just a concept. But yeah, I mean, I got a few questions, so clearly there's an interest, and I'm hoping that people will watch this and want to get involved in the next one. So that's gonna be it for now, and I will see all of you Mad Maniacs in the next video.